Okay, recording this video on Saturday, the 13th of April 2024, just gone 8:21 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So what a week that was. We had incredible volatility, up and down and up and down. A whole bunch of markets have changed directions, and so it's important to go through the charts this weekend. And then 2 hours ago, seemingly, we had World War III announced, and 10 minutes ago, seemingly World War III has been cancelled, with Iran's announcement that their revenge on Israel is over and done with. Extraordinary. Obviously going to have some impact on the markets on Monday, and let's see what the talking heads do over the weekend in terms of telling us whether this is a big deal or not a big deal, and whether we should be worried or not. Bitcoin's down quite a bit on the initial news, but it hasn't played itself out, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a signal from Bitcoin over the next 24 hours or so, because on the weekend that's basically the only liquid tradable vehicle, and so a lot of people will be using that as a means of trying to get ahead of what happens on Monday morning. But anyway, we're going to talk about charts. We're going to talk about the E-mini first, daily all the way down to the 15-minute, the 13,500 tip bar chart as per usual, and then go through the tip bar charts, the Forex, all the way down to the AGs, and I'll show you what I'm seeing on my charts. So, background is in red. We're in an uptrend, despite having 2 weeks of a sell-off. And if you remember last video, or 2 videos ago, I talked about the difference between the @ES chart and the @ES.D. If you plot the day and night session, which is the @ES, we have a beautiful little rainbow pattern up here at the highs, which showed that that last leg up was being led by the amateurs. The average trade size was low, and so it's potential reversal of an amateur breakout. And usually what I'm looking for with those rainbow patterns is the low of that amateur sequence, and they got busted through a week and a half ago, and we've been in a downtrend ever since. But at some point, because we're in an uptrend, we're going to be caught by a support level. I hoped, or I thought maybe a couple of days ago when the pullback support level on the daily chart went off, that would be it, that would maybe catch the move. It did not, and when we go down to the tip bar charts you'll see why, because the professionals didn't come in at the lows. But we've got this playing out, so we've got a support there on the daily chart. We have overshot it with Friday's trade. So could that be like a one-day wonder and we just bounce back up above it, possibly on Monday, or we'll keep on traveling through until we get caught by support in the next highest time frame, which is these slightly thicker lines here will need to drop to -100, come together down at the lows and cross, and that'll be the timing for when that might happen. It's possible that we might get that bounce kind of on Monday, but let's see as we go through the charts. 15-minute chart doesn't confirm that. The tick bar chart does suggest a little bit of a bounce on Monday, but let's roll through it. So the background's in red because in terms of price and volume we're in an uptrend. The trailing stop is miles away. We've not seen blue professional bars, and maybe that's, to be honest, that's what I should be looking for, to expect this sell-off to be fairly severe and to have a volume pattern on the downside. An amateur down bar would be one signal to show that the amateurs are selling it down, they get wrong-footed, it's a test, and we bounce off it, or the sell-off becomes even more severe than it is. We end up with an excess volume momentum signal, a blue professional down bar, and we trail the stop up. So, there are a couple of scenarios for that. 135-minute chart, again, background's in red. We're in an uptrend in terms of price and volume, but you can see the trailing stop here has ratcheted down a little bit. We almost busted through it, but we're trying to find a low down here. This move was being led by the amateurs up to the highs. Up here, you can see that, you saw that on the daily chart, but down here we're seeing blue professional bars coming in. Certainly they were selling it down at this point on that retrace, but now we're seeing blue professional bars starting to come in at these lows. We have an exhaustion sell pattern which is weeks away, and a bullish divergence based on that, and the selling that we've had has been fairly muted so far. It's nowhere near an order of magnitude that we have had a couple of months ago. So in terms of the cycles on beta sine wave, yeah, we topped out with a little pullback to end of trend, but we've had little pullback to end of trends along the way. Who was to know this one was going to be the one? I think this was the clue with the amateur bars at the high, but that's led to this sell-off here. On the 135-minute chart, you can also see we've got that pullback level support come in. We've briefly broken below it. So let's see if that starts to hold with Sunday into Monday's activity. 45-minute chart, here you can see the background's in grey, and so with this week's activity we did drop into a confirmed downtrend on the 45-minute chart. busted through the trailing stop. You can see better pro-am trailed the stop up, went into a downtrend with the background in grey. There's the exhaustion sell that we had weeks ago down here, and the selling, I mean, it's felt pretty extreme over the last several days trading, but in terms of volume sell-offs, it's not really that big of a deal. And on this time frame, the 45-minute chart, here's the highest time frame. That pullback support level has come into there. And what we've been doing is stair-stepping down. If you see the patterns on better sine wave, we're batting backwards and forwards between support and resistance. Catch, catches a little bit, catches, all of these just batting backwards and forwards. And it's not a trending move. So this correction is a complex correction. It's not we broke through a serious support and we then melted down into a proper trending move that goes pullback to end of trend. We can get these moves where it's a complex correction and we find support here. But we are beneath support on the intermediate time frame. We've got a little support on the lowest time frame and the highest time frame come together. Maybe not enough to catch us. We don't have blue professional bars. It's a flush pattern down here showing it's pretty good in terms of flushing out sellers. Maybe not enough to catch us. So 45-minute chart, we're not ready quite yet for the 45-minute chart to change directions. That blue professional bar is what we're going to need to see at some point to show the professionals are either getting ready for a rocket back up or they're buying into these lows on further weakness. But we'll have to wait and see. It's at a downtrend on the 45-minute chart. 15-minute chart. Here we go. We've got our beginning and the ends of the weeks marked by the vertical solid yellow lines. So you can see we've had 2 weeks of weakness. We topped out with an exhaustion pattern, very high readings on better momentum here. We caught this low at the end of last week. We bounced up and we had some really severe down moves. Down, we bounce back up, we trail a stop, we bounce back up, and we collapse into these lows. The background's in grey, confirmed downtrend, although it's been junky on the way. On the 15-minute chart, it's been junky, less so on the tip bar chart because we get to fill in these gaps, because the gaps are less extreme because we get the overnight activity with the tip bar chart where we use the @ES contract instead of just the day session only. But we've got some exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, and flush patterns here. Remember, when the bullish divergence is right on the zero line, you have to at least wait for a flush. We got a flush kind of down here. So this activity was trying to hold the market, and we've come back down. And yep, we've sold off, but in terms of momentum on the way down, it's been a lot less severe than this initial move down here. So that's good news. And we've got supports here, intermediate time frame. We busted through support on the lowest time frame. We need to get back above. We need a blue professional bar because on the 15-minute chart, the trailing stop is miles away here, and the background's in grey. We're also in a downtrend on better sine wave. So a 15-minute chart is not ready to turn quite yet, or we don't have signals of a turn yet. However, 13,500 tip bar chart. And let's just show you this on this time frame where we can see the 2 weeks with all the activity. So last week's activity, do you remember it was all the Rambo to Rambo channels? So Rambo patterns, amateurs leading the way, get wrong-footed, goes the other way, they get stopped out, and then they decide to go long. No, they're wrong again. It sells off, another Rambo pattern right at the bottom, and we come back up. And then these were the beautiful signals from this week. We had blue professional bars up here, which led to this sell-off, and this is a particular trade that I'm kicking myself. I put a too tight stop on this trade, and I was taken out on that move. I think we had the CPI numbers come out, and I was out by 2 points. I stopped out on that trade and missed out on an 80-point trade. The move went for 100 points, but my target was sitting at 80. So I wake up in the morning and see this move is sickening. But anyway, let us move on. Next time around, got it right here. My target was too small on this move, but again on the retrace, the blue professional bars come in, we sell off. We've not seen blue professional bars at the lows. We come back, we retrace, more blue professional bars come in here, the sell-off continues. And so better pro-am is ratcheting the trailing stop down based on the professional activity. But yes, we had exhaustion patterns, quite severe ones down here, and flush patterns, but no blue professional bars, and the stop is miles away. However, the end of this week, blue professional bars come in. So as of the close on Friday, I've entered a small position long, but let's see how that works out. Markets just could be news driven entirely out of what's happening in the Middle East Sunday into Monday. So who knows whether that's going to be the change of trend. But Down here at the lows, we do have exhaustion patterns. This is exhaustion sell getting the move going, but into those lows we've had flush patterns, and actually better momentum into the close was a little bit positive. That's it in terms of volume patterns and professional activity. But on this chart, on better sine wave, you can see we overshot support on the highest time frame, so it's not broken into a full-blooded trending move on the way down. As I was saying, we've been stair-stepping down, complex correction move. We overshot this, and so we come back up to cyclical resistance on the highest time frame, and we bounce straight off it. If we'd gone through support, that means the market is still weak. It's not gone into a trending move on the way down, where this resistance would have come in under that support, as it sold off super hard and then came back and just turned around here and went down. So it's strong enough to come back up to this move, and so now all of a sudden we're looking at support. Having overshot support, we're now bouncing from support on that highest time frame. So it comes with a little pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, kind of sinking up here. So it's possible that that move, the combination of the blue professional bars coming in on close on Friday, not that that's a typical pro move to do, to come in on close on Friday and hold over the weekend, but there was some activity there. So let's wait and see. That area needs to hold. The 51, 52 area needs to hold. We need to get a bounce straight away, a Sunday night into Monday, to show that that might be it. The 2-week weakness that we've had has held, and we rally from there. But remember, the background's in grey. We're in a downtrend on the 13,500 tip bar chart. Until that switches around into red, we're not in a confirmed uptrend. So we're just trying to anticipate what might happen. So that's the mini. Let us now talk about the Forex charts. We're going to start with the Euro chart, and this is the longer time frame chart, the 460-minute and the daily chart. 2 weeks ago, maybe, I was talking about the Forex charts, how they could potentially bust into an uptrend for Euro, British Pound, Aussie Dollar against the USD, because we were at a resistance. You can see here on the 460-minute chart, significant resistance on the highest time frame at that point at 9.5, and we had a couple of bars of strength there. You can see the bars printed red. They'd busted above a resistance on that time frame. Then let us look at the daily chart. It was also sitting at 10 as a resistance. That's the 460-minute chart there at 9. If we had got above there and then gone through 10, this whole move would be an uptrend move in the euro. And if you look at the euro chart over this long time frame, maxed out at 25, 27 up here, huge downtrend. Pullback to end of trend is what we were putting in on the highest time frame. So potentially that trending down move was over, and we're going to go break above that resistance at 10 into a trending move in the other direction. Well, no, that was incorrect. We bounced off that move. So what we're putting in is the second cyclical turns after end of trend on this daily chart. We're going to go through quite a nasty testing period for all of these Forex charts because they're all weak at the moment. So we didn't get through that, and instead busted through those supports into this downtrend on the daily chart. And on the 460-minute chart, you can see here we're below a couple of supports and we're dangerously dropping lower. It's exhaustion sell on the 460-minute chart there, with exhaustion sell, getting that move going, not bottoming it. And we've been trying to get through these highs. Here was this nice pattern here. Rambo pattern with exhaustion buy is unstable. Background's in grey. We're in a downtrend. We're likely to slice through 106. Next stop 105, 5.5. And maybe we're going to look at parity again, or just see where that cyclical cross happens on that highest time frame. So that whole idea on the euro, that we were going to bust through 9 and then 10 and the euro was going to take off, is not going to happen. And in fact, the dollar index chart is showing us the way. So just open that up. This is the long-term chart on the dollar index, and here we go. So you can see the background's in red. We're in an uptrend. We've got confirmed break on better pro-am on both the 420-minute chart and the daily chart. Slightly different number of hours traded on the dollar index futures contract as opposed to the futures of the euro. But here's the background's in red. We had a similar pattern. It was a Rambo pattern. You saw the inverse of that. The Rambo pattern on the euro was on the high side. This is on the low side. Amateurs getting wrong-footed. And so this is exhaustion by getting the move going. So dollar is going higher. So capital flows are moving into US markets, whether that be equities, treasuries. That's an important week this week that we had with the breakout in the dollar index. Let's look at the tick bar charts for the euro contract. And you see it all started to break down this week. We had confirmed breaks after big pros. When I paint the background in blue, and this is the new version of the better indicators that should be coming out shortly, the backgrounds in blue means that this is extra high average trade size. So professional activity, super important there at that point. We had short confirmed signals that just printing a fraction out of view there on that chart, but we had confirmed breaks to the downside, and you can see the backgrounds in grey, and it led to a swan dive move from 9 down to 6 and a bit. We've got to a level down here where we've certainly oversold, but no blue professional bars, and the trailing stop is miles away. It could be that we have a rally back just because it's amateur bars leading the way, or rally back to blue professional bars that sell it down again until we get exhaustion sell patterns, at least on the 500 tick bar chart on the way down. So the euro's on the way down, but we could have a little bit of a bounce from Friday's activity. So British pound. Last weekend I was a long British pound. It was based off this activity. We had a stair-step trade. We had the big pro bars come in with exhaustion sell bullish divergence. We raced away. No blue professional bars taking profits up here. Got in the retrace here as soon as we saw the blue professional bars come in. My target was just under 27 because of round numbers, and I was fortunate enough to get taken out at that before it just collapsed here. So the British pound is following the euro down. Rambo patterns. Up here at those highs, then we have confirmed signals as it turns around, bang, 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 on the way down. So yeah, it's oversold pretty heavily, but no exhaustion sell, no blue professional bars. The trailing stop on the 750 tick bar chart is miles away. So we've got a little bit of strength happening at the moment on British pound, but until we see that, the trend in the 2 time frames is not aligned, and so we wouldn't be going long British pound. Aussie dollar, the same thing. This week was a rough week. Rambo patterns at those highs, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, that's a good signal there. Come back up to test, bang, get a confirmed signal on the way down. And again, no exhaustion sell, no blue professional bars at the low. Again, we're overdone on the downside, and so we could have a little bit of a rally back up, but it'll just be an opportunity for the professionals to step in and sell it down until we get those exhaustion signals on the way down. So there we go. And Japanese yen, of course. Japanese yen continues down. That seems to know it's a one-directional trade, the Japanese yen. All these signs of weakness this week, bang, we just sold off and sold off. All right, 10-year notes. Now, 10-year notes might be starting to be a bit of a move to safety. We had some weakness right at the end of Friday, but you can see here the big pro bars came in. We've oversold. We just shot past support on this highest time frame tip bar chart. We put in a lot of pullback to end of trends down here. We're starting to find some strength at that point. We've rallied. We've got a confirmed uptrend on better pro-am, exhaustion buy, potentially getting the move going, and we've got a bit of a stair-step trade here settling in with blue professional bars coming in. The big pro bars coming at the bottom. We have no blue professional bars until they come in on the retrace here. Yep, taking profits at that point, but here let's see if we get some cyclical patterns come together and this turns around into a nice little break into another uptrending move above the trailing stop here on 10-year notes. So 10 years potentially could be benefiting from this, either capital flowing to the US and or a bit of a safety trade at the moment. Gold, what a move this week, up to 24.60, but it maxed out with exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Broke into a confirmed downtrend on this 2250 tip bar chart here. We had confirmed signals on better pro-am. We got a cyclical weakness here on better sine wave, and we've sold off. Here we're in a downtrend on gold. But remember, we are coming back into the area where they bought the breakout. This is big pro bars coming in here. 2320 is when they took it above those levels, and we're coming back into that zone. So they're going to step back in and hold it at some point, and then we continue to push gold even higher. Next chart, silver. Silver again, we got to almost $30 on silver this week. On the 750 tip bar chart, didn't end up with an exhaustion pattern. It did on the 250 tip bar chart, and we got confirmed downtrends with the background in grey, but also with better pro-am signals and the cyclical signals here. So didn't catch the absolute high of that move, which is a shame, but we sold off. Now we're coming into a whole bunch of blue professional bars though on the retrace. Cyclically, we haven't got supports kind of holding us yet, but there are some big pro bars coming in here, big pro bars coming in here, And again, let's see if we go up to see where this breakout happened. And the last time we saw big pro bars coming in was a while ago. Yeah, so there we go, at $25, the big pro bars come in. That's the last spot they were in. And seemingly with the close on Friday or into the close on Friday here, big pro bars setting it again. So just under $28 or so, maybe the blue professional bars are stepping in on silver. Bitcoin, so here we go, Bitcoin, so this is, I'm trying to get the timing of this. Okay, so this will be the move with the announcement of the drone attacks on Israel, so that's why Bitcoin sold off. It was trying to hold around 66 or so, sold off hard. Rambo patterns down here at 62. The amateurs get wrong-footed. We break back up on the retracement. Blue professional bars step in here, and we start stepping down. But cyclically, we're trying to hold here. Maybe we've got to go make another support on the 9,000 tip bar chart here. The background hasn't switched into red yet, but this is maybe seeing this as an opportunity of jumping in on that unusual weakness because of the global macro news. So let's see, we've got to get back above 66 in order to confirm that that was just a good buying opportunity for the pros here at this point. That sell off this weekend. So let's see if that confirms into a change of trend of Bitcoin by the time the markets open up properly Monday. Crude, we had a nice trade here on the 1,000 tip bar chart. Blue professional bars, exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence comes in here. Cyclical pattern, big things happen at triples. That's what this signal here on that red background shows, and then bang, raced away to 87.50. Wasn't anything that told us that that was going to be the high there, except a cyclical pattern coming in. There wasn't anything in terms of volume patterns up there. We've sold off back down to the 85 level here. We haven't had support coming on the highest time frame, so we've not got a chance to hold that level yet. But let's see. They bought that breakout at 85 and it's come back down. So it is weak at the moment with these signals on better sine wave, but these levels, 85, 85 and a half, need to hold in order for this to be an area where the professionals are coming back in to pick it up on crude. But let's see if that holds. Natural gas is trying really hard down here. You can see all these signals going off from 300 tip bar chart. Cyclical support, big things happen at triples, hasn't broken into an uptrend yet on the 900 tip bar chart, but big pro bars on the highest time frame coming in here at 175 into those lows. So that's interesting. So natural gas is looking like it's trying to bottom and break back up for a rally this week. So let's see if that happens. Copper. Now I do not understand what happened here on copper. I'm bullish long term on copper. I think it's going to be one of those trades like the crude trade at the long term that's going to be one of these commodities super cycle type trades. But I have no idea what's going on here at the close on Friday on copper. Yes, seemingly we found some supports and we broke here. Rambo patterns down there. I suppose we've done some damage on the way down, but it wasn't even at a cyclical turning point on the 750 tip bar chart here. Nothing happening here. So, don't know. We'll have to wait on copper. The last time we saw blue professional bars up here and up here, that's important. So we're coming back up to sell it down from those levels, or are we trying to hold? We'll have to wait and see in the next couple of days to see where the blue professional bars kind of come in, because that was odd. That was an odd move on Friday. And lastly, the ags. Corn trying to hold here. We're starting to rally. Big pro bars come in. Got a confirmed break here on the lowest time frame chart. Yep, everything's looking good here. So we've got confirmed. Not seen blue professional bars taking profits up here at 437. Big pro bars kind of coming in here. We've got to get back above 437, breakout above here. So let's see if this area holds and we break back up into an uptrending move on corn. Soybeans, same thing. So at these lows here, we got confirmed signals. We're in an uptrend. No blue professional bars until the close on Friday here. So that's looking strong. The background's in red on soybeans. And then lastly, wheat. Wheat's weak. Here's the exhaustion buy. Confirmed downtrend here. Big pro bars come in here. We're selling it down. So wheat is weak. Blue professional bars, more confirmed downtrends here. So wheat doesn't look so good, but the others are looking interesting. So there we go. Not sure how long this video went for, but it was a hell of a week this week. Hope you traded it well. And let's see if we get a bit of a signal from Bitcoin Sunday to show that the markets might open strong on Monday. We could get a bounce in the Forex charts, but that'll just be an opportunity for the professionals to step in and sell it down. But I think that move this week on dollar index and weakness on all of those Forex charts was an important signal, and we're going to be working that out over the next several weeks going forward. So hope your trading is going well and looking forward to Monday.